Called back to service to rescue a colleague in war-ravaged Lebanon.
And a new film shows the great lengths people in power will go to cover up a scandal.
Yeah, we have Michael Hook here to review Beirut and Chappaquiddick.
Yes, I thought I'd pick two movies that are based on places, kind of have a nice symmetry to it. So let's talk about Beirut first. As you mentioned, this stars John Hamm. The basic plot line is it starts off, you see John Hamm in 1972 Beirut. He's married, he has a good life, he's a diplomat there in Lebanon. A tragedy strikes and he leaves Beirut, and 10 years later we find him as a alcoholic labor insurance negotiator. He's brought back to Beirut to negotiate the release of a former colleague who's been taken hostage, and there the twists and turns of this sort of a classic spy thriller start to unravel. John Hamm, I thought, was fantastic. He's both charismatic and also world weary at the same time. The plot has some very, I thought, interesting twists and turns in a thriller of who can you trust? You really can't trust anybody, or should you trust this person or not that person? You really, as the movie got into its third act, I thought it really picked up steam and became even more interesting as you find out the truths of whose agenda was what. So this was, to me, a very enjoyable film, sort of the classic genre of a spy thriller. I give it a strong 8 out of 10.
Nice.
8.
Not bad, not bad. So the next one to talk about is called Chappaquiddick. This is based on the true story of, in 1969, then U.S. Senator Ted Kennedy was driving along with a young woman who was on his staff, or used to be on his staff. They go over a bridge in his car. He hasn't managed to escape, but this young woman, Mary Jo Kopechne in real life was her name, she is trapped in the car and dies. In real life, as it portrayed in the movie, he tries to save her supposedly and then gets friends, and then he waits 9 hours before he alerts the authorities. Well, this movie tells the story of what happens, and it does a good job of sticking to the factual basis of the events. And at one point, Jason Clarke, who plays Ted Kennedy, sometimes you feel sympathy for him, but then again, because Jason Clarke is so good, but then you see the callousness, the shallowness, and the dishonesty of what Kennedy did that day, and it makes for an enjoyable movie as they try to figure out, after the horrible tragedy, how can they, you see there all his family's political advisors trying to come up with a way, how do we spin this, how do we keep him out of prison, all these things, and it's a fascinating story of what happened, on a minute-by-minute basis in this horrible tragedy, because Ted Kennedy was going to run for president, and this incident at Chappaquiddick in 1969 completely destroyed that prospect. It's a good movie if you want to know more about the historical, events of that time. I really recommend it. I also give this a strong 8 out of 10.
Do they kind of go into what happened during those 9 hours?
Yeah, they do. They really, he went back to his hotel. First he got his friends. They went back to his hotel and went to sleep. So it was, it's just sort of shocking. Like, oh, I didn't realize the whole story.
And again, that was
Chappaquiddick.
the rating.
Oh, 8.
Nice.
8 out of 10.
2 8.
Two 8 out of 10.
Both good flicks this weekend.
Two good flicks.
Thanks so much. All right.